Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum assalam. Hope all of you are fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Alhamdulillah. So last class, one of you have got fever. So are you okay now? Are you here in the class?
Yes, ma'am. I'm okay now.
Alhamdulillah. So today is lecture number 8, Math 5M, and that is 5th of October 21. So last class we have done Newton-Raphson method for nonlinear equation or nonlinear system of equations.
System of equation, ma'am.
Nonlinear system of equation with the help of Jacobian matrix. And I have uploaded the programming also. Did you have a look?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I was defining the function, there was extra equal sign I have given by mistake. That's why the program gives us error. So when I just omit that equal sign, it's okay. So our next method is iterative method. Again, iterative method. But this method is for nonlinear system of equation. So now it is iterative method for nonlinear system of equation. Nonlinear system of equation. So first of all, we have a linear system of equation. System of linear equation, the iterative method says that it should be diagonally dominant. Isn't?
Yes, ma'am.
Diagonally dominant. Then we have the next one, that is the nonlinear equation. Nonlinear equation. Then the condition was g prime x naught. That is the iterative method at the point should be in between -1 to 1. So if it is in between -1 to 1, then it will convert. That means we can use that equation to solve or to find the root. So for nonlinear equation, what will be the difference? Obviously, I am going to have two equations. So we are giving it a name. Say one is g1, another one is g2, and we will have more than one variable. Say they are variables of x and y. Say they are variables of x and y. They can be also x, y, z. So in that case, the condition is if del g1 del x absolute value at the given point, that means starting point, plus del g1 del y at the starting point is less than 1 and not odd, and del g2 del x absolute value at the starting point plus del g2 del y absolute value at the starting point is less than 1. If these two conditions are true for g1 and g2, then we can use this function as a iterative formula. Then we can use it as a iterative formula. So that is more similar to this one. That means we are going to have the differentiation. As we have more than one variable, so we need to do the partial differentiation. So g1 can be differentiated with respect to two variables, one is x, another one is y. If there is another variable z, then that should be del g1 del x plus del g1 del y plus del g1 del z. That should be less than 1, all the absolute values, not the usual ones. It should be the absolute values. That means positive and negative sign will make no difference. So if it is true, then you can say that You can say that equations d1 and d2 will be used as iterative formulas. So this is the condition for nonlinear system of equation. Nonlinear system of equation. আজকে মনে হচ্ছে মশা তুলে নিয়ে যাবে আমাকে। So a given system of nonlinear equation is this. Minus y minus 5x plus 3 and so this is the given system of nonlinear equation and suggested iterative formulas are so this is the question. So given x square minus y minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0, x square plus 4y square minus 4 equals to 0, suggested iterative formulas are xn plus 1 and yn plus 1, that is the done. So verify whether the above iterative formula will converge for 0.41 and 0.9 minus 1 or not. So same as the previous iterative formula, we have two types of iterative formula. One is Gauss-Seidel and another one is Jacobi. So what is Gauss-Seidel? That one is Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel? That one is Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel? In Gauss-Seidel, what do you use? Most recent values or the previous set of values?
Most recent value.
Most recent value. So in this equation, have I used the most recent value or previous set of values?
Previous set of values.
So that is
Jacobi.
Jacobi or Gauss-Seidel? That is Jacobi. So this one is Jacobi iterative method. and it should be Gauss Seidel. If we use the most recent value, so in that case, xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 5, xn square minus yn plus 3, and yn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 10, 4 minus xn plus 1 whole square minus 4yn whole square plus 10yn. Because when we are trying to find the value of yn plus 1, I already have the value of xn plus 1. That's why that is Gauss Seidel. So in the question, whatever it is mentioned, please follow that one. That which one is required, Gauss Seidel or Jacobi. So whatever we are trying to apply, the first thing is we need to verify that which formula will convert. Which formula will convert. So let g1 xy is equals to 1 by 5 x square minus y plus 3 and g2 xy is equals to 1 by 10 4 minus x square minus 4y square plus 10y. So I need to have the derivative, partial derivative, so del g1 del x, del g1 del y. Same way del g2 del x and del g2 del y. So go ahead, have the values. So del g1 del x, the value is
ম্যাম কথা ক্লিয়ার আসছে না, একটু সমস্যা হচ্ছে।
কথা। So what is the value of del g1 del x?
ম্যাম 2y6
Only 5, 6. Where should it is 1 by 5 will go?
2 by 5x
5, 6 by 5. Del g1 del y is
ম্যাম minus 1 by 5
minus 1 by 5. Del g2 del x is
it is 1 minus 1 by 5 x. That means minus x by 5.
Minus x by 5. Minus 2x by 10. So 2 by 10 is 5. So that is minus x by 5. Del g2 del y is
It's minus 4 by 5
z.
yes.
So then I need the values. So I need the value at the point what? At the point 0.41. So del g1 del g1 del x at the point 0.41. The value is 0.8 by 5. That is equals to
Ma'am, 0.16.
0.16. then del G1 del Y at the point 0.4 and 1. The value is absolute value of minus 1 by 5, that is equals to 0.
Point
0
two.
0.2
0.2.
as absolute value, so the minus sign will be omitted. So next del G2 del X at the point 0.4 and 1. So 0.4 minus 0.4 by 5, the value is
0.08.
0. 0.08.
0.08, the negative sign will be omitted, then del G2 del Y at the point 0.4 and 1, that is equals to minus y, so minus 4 plus 1, that is 1 by 5, so that is equals to
0.2.
So the condition is del G1 del X at the point 0.41 plus del G1 del Y at the point 0.41 is equals to 0.16 plus 0.2, that is equals to 0.36 less than 1. Del G2 del X absolute value at the point 0.41 plus del G2 del Y at the point 0.41 is equals to
0.28.
0.08 plus 0.2, so that is 0.28, which is also less than 1. So G1 and G2 can be used as a iterative formula. Can be used as an iterative formula for the point near the point 0.4 and 1.0. Done? So then what is my iterative formula? So the iterative formula is xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 5 xn square minus yn plus 3, and yn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 10 4 minus xn plus 1 whole square minus 4 yn whole square plus 10 yn. So whatever I have used, Jacobi or Gauss Seidel? What do you have
Jacobian.
used? Jacobi or Gauss Seidel? I have used n plus 1. So x1 should be equal to 1 by 5, 0.4 whole square, minus 1 plus 3. y1, what is the value of x1? What is the value of x1?
0.432.
0.432. And that one is, so 4 minus 0.432 whole square, then minus 4 into 1 whole square plus 10. So the value is 0.432.
.981.
0.981. So obviously two digits are not same, so you need to continue until two digits are same. So go ahead. For the second iteration, x2 should be equal to 1 by 5, x1, so x1 is 0.432 whole square, minus y1, so 0.981 plus 3. The value is
0.441.
0.441. y2 should be equal to 1 by 10. 4 minus 0.441 whole square minus 4 into 0.981 whole square plus 10 into 0.981. The value of y2 is
0.977.
0.977. So does it match? 4.3, that one is 4.4, so it doesn't match. 9.8, 9.8, it matched. But as this value doesn't match, so you need to continue, so go ahead. So x3 is equal to 1 by 5, 0.441 whole square minus 0.977 plus 3. The value is
0.443.
Yes, ma'am. 0.443.
0.444 হয় না? 4436 আসে না? 443 পরে কি আসে?
3 এর পরে ম্যাম 4.
এরপরে 4 আসে? Okay. So in that way you can just stop because already these two digits are same. So the round off term is for this one 0.98, for this one the round off term is 0.98, for this one 0.44, and for this one 0.44. So you can stop it here. So the solution is answer. Okay. So now this is the iterative formula we have checked for the point or near the point 0.41. But in the question there was another thing added. What was that? We have another near point given and that point was 0.9 and minus 1. So you need to go for that one also. So the same process, that means just the values, whatever you have find out, del x, del g1, del x, del g1, del y, or del g2, del x, del g2, del y, that value should be compared to or calculated for what? 0.9 and minus 1. 0.9 and minus 1. So do it. So find out del G1 del X at the point 0.9 minus 1 plus del G1 del Y at the point 0.9 minus 1 is equals to what? Del G1 del X was equals to twice x by 5. So find out the values. So what is the value of the first equation?
Point 56.
0.56, which is less than 1. And the next one is
1.98.
1.98, so it is greater than 1. So does this satisfy the condition? No. So as the second iterative formula doesn't satisfy the condition, we need to rearrange. So the second equation was x square plus 4y square minus 4 equals to 0. So what I can write? 10y minus 10y plus x square plus 4y square minus 4 is equal to 0. So which can be written as y is equals to 1 by 10 x square plus 4y square minus 4 plus 10. Can I write it?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I think that that is my G3, let G3xy is equals to 1 by 10 x square plus 4y square minus 4 plus 10. So now differentiate. So del G3 del x which is equals to x by 5, del g3 del y, which is equals to 8y. So 8y by 10, 8y by 10 can be written as so twice y plus 5 divided by 5. So let's check del g3 del x at the point 0.9 and minus 1 plus del g3 del y at the point 0.9 and minus 1. The value is the value is
1.98.
আবারও 1.98. কিভাবে 1.98 হয়? 2 by 10 or 1 by 5? Simply 1 by 5.
ম্যাম 1.98 আসছে।
Point 9 by 5 is
0.18.
so it should be 0.38. So 1.98 কিভাবে আসে?
ওয়ারম্যান প্লাস ধরে নিয়েছিলাম।
So we got our iterative formula. So the iterative formula is G1. So G1 gives us the iterative formula, which is equals to xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 5 xn square minus yn plus 3, and G3 will give us the next iterative formula, that is yn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 10 xn plus 1 whole square plus 4yn whole square minus 4 plus 10yn. So go ahead. So this time n equals to 0, x naught is equals to 0.9, y naught is equals to minus 1. So n equals to 1, x1 should be equals to 1 by 5.9 whole square minus 1 plus 3. The values are, do it and give me the result. So the value of y1 is
0.962.
the value of x1 is first. Point
962.
y1
Minus 9.907.
minus 9 point.
Minus 0.907.
So obviously I need to go for the second iteration as the values are so different from each other. So go for x2, then go for y2.
Ma'am, x to 0.985. যদি মানটা 0.962
9876.
না ম্যাম 985
985.
ম্যাম আমি কিন্তু শিওর হতে পারতেছি না
So what about the others?
ম্যাম আমাকে একটা কথা একটু কাইন্ডলি বলবেন আমি ভুলে গেছি মানে ওয়াই তো ম্যাম আর কি মাইনাস 0.907 ধরবো তাই না
Y এর value 0.907 minus 0.907.
তাহলে ম্যাম মানটা ভুল আসছে 0.966 আসবে ma'am, কারণ আমি আসলে যেখানে মাইনাস ফোন ধরে করছি এটাই
And
মেইনলি
then 5, then 0.962 whole square, then minus 0.907 plus 3. So then the value becomes
0.966 that is ম্যাম y2 এর মান হচ্ছে -0.885।
-0.885 কি
ইয়েস
ইউজ
ম্যাম।
করেছেন?
ম্যাম এটা আসলে ইউজ করছিলাম যে 0.966 আর y ইউজ করছিলাম ম্যাম আর কি আগেরটা মানে আর কি -0.907।
আর কেউ কি করছেন না? আমি কোনো রেসপন্স পাচ্ছি না কেন? You get the same value? আপনারা করতে থাকেন, করার পরে যে অ্যান্সারটা পাবেন সেই অ্যান্সারটা চ্যাট রুমে লিখেন। দেখি কে কে করছেন। আমি রেজাল্ট চেয়েছি, সবাই y2 লিখে বসে আছেন কেন? So y2 becomes the value as 0.929. 0.929.
ম্যাম এখানে
Yes.
4 ইন্টু মাইনাস 0.907 হোল স্কয়ার হবে না?
এই যে প্লাস 4y স্কয়ার মাইনাস 4 প্লাস 10y।
ইয়েস ম্যাম, এখানে যদি মানে পজিটিভ ধরে করলে ম্যাম 0.929 আসে, আর যদি নেগেটিভ ধরে করা হয় তাহলে ম্যাম আর কি মাইনাস 0.885 আসে।
যেটা ভ্যালু সেটাই হবে। এটা কি পজিটিভ আসবে না নেগেটিভ আসবে? নেগেটিভ
আমার
আসে কত ভ্যালু?
আমার ওখানে আসলে মাইনাস 0.885 আসছিল ম্যাম y2 এর মানটা।
সবাই কি প্লাস ধরেই করে ফেলেছেন? কেউ খেয়াল করলেন না যে এখানে একটা মাইনাস আছে? So the value should be 0.851. Is it? The value of x3 is
0.957. y3 হলো ম্যাম মাইনাস 0.8697, মানে 870 মাইনাস 0.870।
0.957 into 0.957 minus plus 4 into 0.851 minus 4 minus 10 into 0.851 divided by 10. 819 আসে না? ভ্যালুটা কি এসেছে?
মাইনাস 0.8697 আসছিল ম্যাম আমার।
আমারও সেম এসছে।
0.957 into 0.957 y3 এর ভ্যালুটা লেখেন তো আপনারা চ্যাট রুমে। কার কি এসেছে?
ম্যাম আমার y2 এর ভ্যালু এসেছে 0.885 y2
এর ভ্যালু তো ঠিক আছে মনে হচ্ছে, কারণ আমাদের x3 এর ভ্যালু দেখেন মিলে গেছে। y2 এর ভ্যালু যদি ভুল হতো আমাদের x3 এর ভ্যালুটা মিলতো না।
Ma'am, y3 minus 8.529.
870 আসার কথা মাইনাস 0.870 আমার তো তাই আসলো
ইয়েস ম্যাম আমাদের
Eight-
তাই
জি ম্যাম এটা এসছে তাই ম্যাম।
আপনাদের y2 এর ভ্যালু কত আসে y2 এর ভ্যালুটা আবার একটু ক্যালকুলেট করেন তো
-0.885 আসছে।
জি ম্যাম এটা আমার আসছিল।
so it should be 964 সো আমাদের আরো কয়েকবার করতে হবে সো করে ফেলেন বাসায় আমরা আমাদের নেক্সটটা শুরু করতে যাচ্ছি 964 So that should be 0.879.
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
So I think আরেকটা করলে আমরা পেয়ে যাব so নেক্সটটা করলে আশা করি পেয়ে যাব x4 so x4 1/5.964 whole square minus of minus 0.879 plus 3
0.962
962 so yes you got the result that one is minus 0.89 that one is oh still I don't have the value minus 0.88 that one is 0.96 that one is 0.96 so go ahead for the another one so y4 is equals to 1/10 0.962 whole square plus 4 into minus 0.879 whole square minus 4 plus 10 into minus 0.879 so 0.962 62 yes
minus 0.879 বা 877 বলা যাবে 877
0.877
minus 0.877
minus 0.877 minus 0.877 877 so yes you get the result minus 0.88 so the solution is y is equal to 0.96 and minus 0.88 answer so that was the iterative method so see the same name iterative method and same form It's just different for the term or problem given to you. That means if it is for a system of linear equation, the condition is 1. If it is simply a nonlinear equation, the condition is different. And if it is the nonlinear system of equation, the condition is different. So in your Viva, I can ask you that I want to solve a system of linear equations. So what is the condition for iterative method? So what will you say? What is the condition for iterative method for system of linear equation? For system of linear equation, what is the condition for iterative method? It should be diagonally dominant. Diagonally dominant. Then I ask you that what is the condition for iterative method to solve a non-linear equation? So then it should be g prime x naught is in between -1 to 1. Then if it is a non-linear system of equation, that means del g1 del x1, this blah blah blah. So the same iterative formula valid for 3 different type of equation, and the condition is different according to the given problem. Done? So our next topic is spline interpolation. Spline interpolation. So what is the meaning of spline? Usually আমাদের দেশে আমরা ফায়ার স্পেস ইউজ করি না, বাট আমরা আই থিঙ্ক সবাই মুভিতে কম বেশি দেখেছি ফায়ার স্পেস বা ফায়ার প্লেস। ঘরের মধ্যে আগুন জ্বালাতে দেখেছেন?
Yes, ma'am.
সেখানে সাধারণত ছোট ছোট কাঠের টুকরা ইউজ করা হয়, ঠিক?
Yes, ma'am.
So those are known as slat of wood. Slat of wood or metal, which is basically spline. That means spline is the synonym of the slat of wood or metal. That means choto choto টুকরা, যে কোনো একটা জিনিসের, একটা বড় জিনিসের ছোট ছোট টুকরাকে বলা হয় স্ল্যাট। ওকে, সেটা মেটালের হতে পারে, সেটা উডের হতে পারে। এটা খুব সিম্পল এক্সাম্পল দিলাম, যেটা যে আমরা ফায়ার প্লেসে এটা ইউজ করা হয়, সেটাকে বলা হয় স্ল্যাট অফ উড। So those slat of woods are basically the synonym of spline. So spline interpolation is basically you are using small pieces of, obviously you are not going to use wood in mathematics, so you are going to use small pieces of what? Pieces of function. Small pieces of function. So interpolation is basically you are having some given set of data points and you are having an idea of the curve from those points or from this given set of data with the help of splines. That means from this point to this point, I don't know what is the exact path, but I am trying to connect these 2 points with a straight line. So with a straight line, this one. Again, I am connecting these 2 points with a straight line. So 2 consecutive points we are going to connect with small pieces of function. So that process is known as interpolations, and these pieces of functions are known as spline. Every piece is known as spline. Is that clear? What is spline interpolation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So spline interpolation is basically from a given set of data, you are trying to find out the behavior of the circumstance. Basically it is used in statistics. Say that a very common example is, say I want to know that what will be the behavior of corona on 2020 at January. How will you find it out? আমরা 2020 জানুয়ারিতে করোনার সিচুয়েশনটা কেমন হতে পারে সেটা জানতে চাচ্ছি। আমরা কিভাবে জানতে পারি বলেন তো?
গ্রোথ রেট দেখে ম্যাম বা গ্রাফ দেখে
Graph. So where will I have the graph? So basically I have some data. Say I know that on 2020 the affected person was say 15 lakh on 2020 January. Okay, then on 2020 March the affected people was say 17 lakhs. Say same as on 2020 August we have some rate something like this, that it becomes lower and it becomes 9 lakhs or 9,000, not lakhs, 9,000 should be. Okay, then 2020 September the value becomes little more lower, that is 3,000 something like this. And now I have this data. So with the splines, that means with the small pieces of functions, I have created a graph for this one. I know the pattern, I have the graph. So now I want to assume that what will be on 2020, so it should be 21, make it 21. So 2020, what will be how many people will be affected by corona? So I will do what? I know the shape of the graph. So I will continue the graph and I will find out that how will it be. So that is the work of spline. That means with the help of previous set of data, we are assuming a path. আমরা একটা রাস্তা চিন্তা করার চেষ্টা করছি যে কিভাবে জিনিসটা যাচ্ছে বা কিভাবে আগাচ্ছে, কিভাবে কমছে, কিভাবে বাড়ছে. So we are trying to have a locate a path or have a path by or with the help of the previous set of data, and we will try to reach the assumption or reach in future. That means what it can be in future. So that is spline interpolation. So here what I have drawn, I have added these 2 points with a straight line. But rather than a straight line, I can use the curve like this. Can I? Can I?
কোশ্চেনটা বুঝিনি ম্যাম।
আমরা দুইটা পয়েন্টকে একটা স্ট্রেট লাইন দিয়ে অ্যাড করতে পারি।
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
আবার একটু ভার্টিক্যাল ওয়েতেও অ্যাড করতে পারি না?
জি ম্যাম।
So depending on the term or on the thing that you are connected to consecutive points, it has different type of spline. So what are the terms? So basically splines are used for polynomial equations. So what is the basic or what is the general term of a polynomial equation? Polynomial equation is a0 plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus in that way it will go on. That is the structure of a polynomial equation. So when we think that polynomial equation has only the first degree equation, that means these two parts, a0 plus a1x, that is known as linear polynomial equation. And linear polynomial equation always produce what? Linear equation always produce what? Straight line. So when you are connecting two consecutive points with a linear equation, that means we are having a straight line. So when you are having this one, that is first degree polynomial equation, linear or first degree, the highest power of x is 1. So this is known as linear spline. Linear spline interpolation. Linear spline interpolation. So when you are using the second degree equation, that means a0 plus a1x plus a2x square. So that is a second degree polynomial equation you are going to use, which will produce a curve. That means for this case you are connecting these 2 points with a straight line. For this one, obviously all the time it cannot be go with a straight line. Maybe it is a little bit curvical way. So we are assuming that the curve goes like this. We are adding with a curve. So that is a second degree equation. So that is known as second degree polynomial equation, second degree spline or quadrature spline. Quadrature spline, quadrature or quadratic, whatever you say. Spline interpolation. And the next one we are going to learn, that is the cubical spline interpolation. That is when you are having the spline equation or the pieces of the function which are a third degree polynomial equation. So that is a cubic spline interpolation. Done. So here we are going to learn only these three types of interpolation. The first one is linear spline interpolation, then quadratic spline interpolation, and the third one is cubic spline interpolation. Cubic spline interpolation. So what is the thing? That first thing is interpolation is a process which will connect the consecutive data or the given data to assume a path which will be followed or which will fit on the points given and to assume a future assumption. Done. So when we are creating the interpolation, we need the connecting path. The connecting path or the slat of function or spline. So depending on the structure of the spline function, there are three types of spline interpolation. The first one is linear spline interpolation, when we are having a polynomial equation of degree 1 or linear polynomial equation. Then quadratic spline, when you are having a quadratic polynomial equation, that is polynomial equation of degree 2. And cubic spline, when you are using a third degree polynomial equation. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So next, interpolation must follow some conditions. So what are the conditions? The first condition is the function must be valid in between the given domain. The function must be valid in between the given domain. So if fx is equals to x plus 1, what is the domain of that function? What is the domain of that function? Domain মানে কি? Math 1 এ পড়েছি। The values of x for which you are going to have a valid value of y. So আমি x এর ভ্যালু এখানে যাই বসাই না কেন, তার জন্য আমি fx এর একটা ভ্যালিড ভ্যালু পাবো। পাবো না পাবো না?
Negative infinity.
So for this one, the domain is all real number. That means minus infinity to plus infinity. So when you draw the graph y equals to x plus 1, so when x is 0, y is 1, and when y is 0, x is minus, y is 0, x is minus. X is 0, y is 1, this is the point 0, 1, and minus 1, 0, so this is the line. And this line is valid till plus infinity to minus infinity. So the domain is all real number. If I have fx is equals to 1 by x, what is the domain? What is the domain?
All real numbers except 0.
All real numbers except 0. That means if I replace the value of x is 0, we don't have a valid value of f. We don't have a valid value of f. So we can write it as this. Minus infinity to 0, union of 0 to infinity. That means at the point 0, 0 is not included. So when you draw the graph of y equals to 1 by x is this. That at the point x, we don't have a graph. There is a break. There is a break or hole. This space is empty, isn't? But in this graph, there is any break or hole? Is there any break or hole? The whole thing is a one-piece function. But this has two pieces of function because the function has a breaking point inside. Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So it says that the first condition of interpolation says that whatever the function or spline you are taking, this must be valid in the whole domain. This must be valid in the whole domain. That means if you are taking a function from this point to this point, there cannot be any gap. You cannot have a function like this. You cannot have a function like this. So in between two consecutive points, that means if it is x0, y0, and it is x1, y1, and you are thinking that this is your f1, the function f1, that is the first line. It cannot have a hole in middle. It cannot have a hole in middle. Is that clear? It should be a,
Yes.
so if there is no hole, that means what? It is a continuous function. It's a continuous function. Okay? So if there is no hole, then this is the next set of points. Say this is x2, y2. There also cannot be any hole. There is another point, x3, y3. There also cannot be any holes. That means no breaking point. That means from x0 to x3, the function is continuous. The function is continuous.
Yes, ma'am.
And the function has a domain from the starting point to the ending point.
Yes, ma'am.
So the first condition says that the domain of the function, domain of fx, that means the whole function f1, f2, f3. So f is the addition of f1 plus f2 plus f3 is the starting point to the ending point. The domain of the function is valid for the whole length of the given set of data points given. Is that okay? So next condition is all the functions must be continuous. All the functions, that means if this is f, if I'm having f prime, if I'm having f double prime, they must be continuous. They must be continuous. They must be continuous. So what does it mean? This function f is continuous. That means
There is no hole between those points.
So this is continuous, isn't? But if I have this one, is it continuous? The second, this is continuous because I don't have any hole. So for this one, is it continuous? No, it's not continuous because I have a hole there. I have a hole there. So what are these holes? That means at the breaking point. These are the breaking points. So at the breaking points, the functional value must be same. That means the functional value for f1 at the point x1 is same for the functional value f2 at the point x1. আমার f1 আর f2 কোথায় কানেক্টেড হয়েছে? x1 পয়েন্টে কানেক্ট হয়েছে। So this is their joining point or intersecting point or breaking point, যেটাই বলো, এই পয়েন্টে যে আমি f1 আর f2 তে ভাগ হয়েছি। So in that case they are saying that it is their breaking point. অথবা আমরা বলি যে এই পয়েন্টটাতে f1 আর f2 এসে কানেক্ট হয়েছে। So that is their common point. So at the common point they share the same value, isn't? What is the same value they share? y1. That means f1 x1, that is the functional value of f1 at the point x1, f2 x2 x1, that means the functional value of f2 at the point x1. It is same, and this is y1. So that is the second condition, that is the function and its derivatives must be continuous. Must be continuous. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So literally the conditions are, the first condition is the domain of fx is, so literally the definition is fx is equals to f1x f2x. In that way you can have many functions, many pieces of functions. We are having fn minus 1x. So this function say this is x1 to x2. So this function is valid in between the interval of x1 to x2, and we have some points given because this is equal. So breaking point is x2 and f2 must be started from x2. So x2 to x3. So see, they share the same point. That's why these are continuous. Then in the same way it will go like this. Then xn minus 1 is in between xn. So that is the structure of the spline. That is the structure of spline interpolation. Done? Then the conditions are, the first condition is the domain of fx is, domain of fx is from x1 to xn. That means from the starting point to the ending point, the function is valid. All the points are inside the domain of fx. That means from x1 to xn, there will be no gap. For all those points, the function is valid. Number 2, f prime, f double prime. In that way, f m minus 1 into x, all are continuous. All are continuous functions on x1 to xn. So I have given the name, the last function. How many functions are there? So okay, we will do it in the next class. That's all for today's class. The next teacher is on the door. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you everyone. So next Tuesday you have quiz assessment 2.
ম্যাম আমাদের ক্লাস কি অফলাইনে হওয়ার ইন ফিউচারে কোনো চান্স আছে ফাইনাল টার্ম?
অবশ্যই